And joining me now is James Daniels. James, hello to you. Good to see you.
Kia ora, Chris. Nice to see you too.
Kia ora. Why would you bother wanting to go back into the nut farm again?
That's one way to describe it. I guess it's in my genes, it's in my history. I've done this for a long time. As you probably know, I was with Ngāi Tahu or Te Runanga o Ngāi Tahu for 19 years, and it's a very similar entity. Also done quite a bit of governance and commercial entities as well as government places like Te Papa. But Christchurch City Council, well, it's very near and dear to me, and the coastal ward is, of course, that's where my heart is. I grew up there, and I've always represented the East anyway. So, look, I know what I'm getting into, and it's something that I've really felt strongly about living in this city. What happens in the city, a lot of it comes from the Christchurch City Council. That's why I'm doing it.
James, in your press release you put out yesterday, you did a bit of a mea culpa, I suppose, almost an apology to the people of the Coastal Ward for forcing that by-election. Any regrets?
Well, the reason that I did force the by-election is because I was made a once-in-a-lifetime job offer to work alongside Simon Barnett on Newstalk ZB nationwide. I was headhunted. I didn't apply for that job, and it just came out of the blue. So I had to make that decision at that time, and that was the decision that I made. I was open about it. Look, it is a mea culpa, and I hear and I know that some people were disappointed or felt let down that I stepped down, but that's what I did at the time. And it was similar to, and as I've also said subsequently, look, if I won Lotto today, or if I was elected and won Lotto, I wouldn't step away. All right. I'm committed
if I
to it.
won Lotto, I would definitely step away.
I mean it. Probably won't happen, but although I do buy the $28 triple dip random Powerball for each night. But yeah, look, if I did, I would stay. Okay, and that's how committed I am to it. I mean, I've lived in this city for, I'll say, 70 years, and I would like to have a say in the next 25 to 50 years.
What do you think's been going right with the Christchurch City Council? We'll start off with the positives first, James.
Yeah. Well, I think that Phil has tried really hard to get across the line those things that he said that he was going to do during his candidacy for the mayoralty at least. I think that he has represented the city very well. What have we done right? I guess we do see progress. A lot of people complain about roadworks, right? Cones. And I kind of get that. But what they don't realise is that what we're doing is fixing or creating new infrastructure. That's what that's all about. As frustrating as it can be, we need to look at the glass being half full. So there is progress in terms of what the council should be doing, and that's the good side of things. On the other side of things, there's a lot of seem to be infighting and a lot of blocking when it comes to making decisions, and it takes so long to make a decision. And that's one of the things that I think that I can bring to council, which is an ability to work with people that don't agree with perhaps how I feel or what I think, and that's very important. That we need to come to some compromise at times rather than just say have it black or white, and then a lot of things don't happen when we go down that path. So that's one of the negative things, I guess, is that there's been a lot of factional voting, I think, when it comes to decisions made by council.
You mean sort of down what could be perceived as party lines?
Well, it looks like party lines to me, which is one of the reasons why I make the point that I'm an independent candidate. That is it. I was approached by People's Choice this is how I first started, looked into this at least, is that they approached me, someone approached me in a cafe and then followed up with some conversations and then an email, and it turned out it was People's Choice. And I decided, look, I appreciated and was flattered about the fact that they approached me, but I decided, look, I don't want to be told how to vote. I don't want to be in a voting block. I'll make decisions on each of those issues that crop up at the table. So that's why I am standing as an independent. And it was why I even thought about it again, was being prompted. And that was before I finished at Newstalk ZB last year.
What would you like to change? If you could be the change maker, oh, I sound like somebody from LinkedIn, what would you want to try and change at council? What are you passionate about? What are your policies? What are you going to campaign on?
Well, rates increases, and everyone is worried about that and complaining about that even. That's fair enough. And that's what we've got to do, is look at what we're spending and our money on. And the thing for me is that we need to do the basics well. Just simple solutions are what we need, rather than gold-plated infrastructure. A good example is cycling, and I could lose a few people if I say this, but in principle, I support cycling. When I was working at Newstalk ZB, I'd bike to work every day, rain, hail, or shine. And there's very little infrastructure from where I live into the city, but I would guts it out, and I'd like more infrastructure around the place. But we don't need the gold-plated ones, these crazy setups along some of the cycleways. What we just need is a simple, safe system. It's as basic as that. But we go over the top with some of our infrastructure, and that's really why we're here, is to build a city that people can live in. And those people pay for it, actually. So, be as simple as more simple than where we are at the moment. Another example, and this sounds like I'm picking on the transport department as part of the council, but it really bugs the hell out of me, is when you've got a bus lane on an arterial road in Christchurch, right? So,
Yep.
And you've got a bus lane on one side of the road. Tell me why we would have that bus lane on the exit route on the way home. And I raised it when I was in council and said, how come on Hills Road the bus lane is on the homeward bound side of the road? And they said, well, people want to get home on time. And I go, no, people want to get to work on time. That's stuff like that really annoys me. And that's a very simple thing. You just go, don't do that. Put it on the other side of the road. That's me.
Fair enough. Just before we go, in terms of the Coastal Ward, anything specifically that sticks out for you there that you want to try and change or campaign on, James?
Oh yeah, look, the estuary edge has to be looked at really quickly. Also, our housing supply, we're getting a lot of housing, but we want to make sure that we keep that up. And then the commercial precinct in New Brighton, it is getting a lot of, the Harrises are putting a lot of time and effort into that, and I think that council needs to do a lot more in supporting that, because there are a lot of other blocks, parcels of land there that are owned by different people, and we need to bring all of that together. When Phil Major and I were councillors previously, we began that process, and some of that has come to fruition now, but we need to work harder and longer on that one.
Very exciting to see New Brighton finally getting there, isn't it? With so many different plans, it feels like it actually feels like the place to be. It really does.
Yeah, well, it's the place where I grew up. I went to South New Brighton, Central New Brighton, and North New Brighton primary schools. I wasn't expelled from any of them, and also Shirley Boys High. So that's my hood. That's what I say. It is my hood.
I was a check at Count to New Brighton when it was the old place, and very fond memories of doing the specials over the microphone. That's where my broadcasting career started.
Very good.
James Daniels, good to speak with you, and I wish you well.
Kia ora. Thank you.